What does Hugh Freeze have to do in Auburn in order to get Auburn into the upper echelon of the SEC versus the Kirby Smarts of the world and the Nick Sabans of the world? Now you've seen Georgia before Kirby and after Kirby. You saw how and it could be a budding dynasty. How does Auburn get in there and become that second tier team like Georgia was to Alabama, and to eventually knock Georgia off?
All about the trenches, man. You go and get the dudes that play in those trenches. Eventually, it all equalizes. I mean, you may have to hit on a quarterback at some point, and I'm sure Hugh Freeze will be one of those attractive places for a quarterback, especially one that can, do the dual threat and the running and you know, he'll be a guy that'll be, attractive for a quarterback at some point. But the difference between Georgia and everybody else right now is their trenches. Offensively and defensively, they have guys that will play in the NFL and they will play for a long time. So, I mean, you look at Alabama. Alabama's the same way. Will Anderson's about to be top 5. He'll be no later than the 5th pick in the draft.
Right.
And, Dallas Turner will flip the cycle, and Dallas Turner will be the guy we talk about next year. Then we'll flip the cycle again, and then it'll be Keon Keeley. So it's like, that's where you got to win. You got to win in those battles, getting those, those guys that, take over games, in the trenches.
Yeah, either you got to be able to go get the quarterback, and then after you go get the quarterback, you got to protect your quarterback. So those are like,
or just like Georgia does sometimes, they just maul you into the ground after they get a lead on you. I mean, Georgia's won games that seem like they're 17-0, but if you just look at the body blows they put on another team, it's really like 75-0.
It's just like lean, like
it's just like a big dude that just lay on you when you like. It's like, all right, man, you won. They just take your spirit just with their weight almost.